All right. What's up, glad nigga? What's up? We here. What's good? Support, Buckets, Smooth, J4, Sean family, Kenny, DeMarcus, and we in here. Stay flat was good. Hey, you ain't never lied, Kenny. What's good, Jeremiah? Like I told y'all last night, I hope y'all questions are better uh, today than it was yesterday. Also, the interview is about to start in the next 10 minutes. Well, 12 to 15 minutes. He's not due to come in until 12. I just start the live earlier to give y'all time to come in here. Yeah, I feel it, bro, because I feel it. But on the real, bro, all this drama stuff, let's not do that while the interview is going on. When he gets here, let's not do that drama shit. I ain't got time for that. Like, if you bringing that stuff in there, even doing the interview, even if you're a moderator, I'll time you out. Let's try to be professional when he gets in here because I don't need any distractions going on while he's in there. He might be looking at some of the comment section, then he's seeing all that bull crap going on, and he's thinking, damn, what the hell is going on there? They're about to jump in from that. What's good though, DeMarcus? Who saw the new exclusive clip though? Yeah, DeMarcus, I agree. The questions will be better with you here. Who seen that exclusive clip though with Shanti and Jannar? Who seen that? Yeah, it was one. It was one of Shanti talking with Jannar. It's on my channel right now. Make sure y'all hit that like button as you come in as well. So I need to know because I told y'all, I said when Shanti did that little plan to set up Jannar, Tommy was convinced that she on his team now. And she might be in the perfect position to snake her. I actually got a video coming out this basically covering all of this too about the possibilities of what's going on there. I mean, it could be she's trying to work as a double O agent, you know. She could be working with Tommy, but I'll say this. At this point, now that she already got the introduction to Che, what other need does she have for having Tommy around? See, Jannard still has something valuable to her, and that's part of the coalition, right? And let's say she might have to take out Shay. If Shay gets taken out, now she needs another connect, which Jannard currently has because he has Ortega, right? Yeah, but you know, Shanti don't fuck with the fentanyl, so she might not want nothing to do with that Madam Wilson. Bradford, I'm just telling you, you do that. If you do that shit when he comes up here, you out of here, out of bounds. And I don't want to hear no questions about why y'all blocking me, y'all bullying me. Nobody bullying you. I told you days ahead of time. Janard would tell Grayskull that he shot D-Mac and Shanti saved D-Mac life. Grayskull could go after Shanti and Shanti eliminate Grayskull. I feel like it's a lot of twists gonna go on. I can see Shanti jumping with Janard, perhaps, and you know, also, no, he hasn't came in yet. He's not in till 12, 6 minutes from now. The crew has the podcast is coming back very conveniently. I'll say that. I don't know, man. 5 minutes. It might be what he get. What's good, TD? What do you mean? I'm not agreeing with you, Demarcus. What the fuck are you talking about? No damn switch up. I'm not agreeing with you. I said I think Grayskull could be teaming up with Tommy. But I've always said from the beginning, even before episode 9 here, was that I believe the RDs will end up on Tommy's side. Now, obviously, episode 9 didn't prove that to be true. But I still think there's a possibility when it's all said and done, they will be on Tommy's side because they're gonna figure out that it was Jannard who took out King against Hell. That's what I said. Hey, I think that nigga was selling some wolf tickets, but that nigga was up here capping. Hey, I mean, I feel like some of this stuff was, like I said, them folks are very trained, right? I feel like they have a seminar for them folks. Like, hey, today we having a seminar on how to answer these questions when ugly ass niggas are asking y'all stuff that you know y'all can't really answer. This is how you answer it. Like I feel like look, I'm gonna have them come up after the finale to answer that question. I'm like, bro, Do they train y'all on how to answer these damn questions when y'all be capping to us, or it just come natural? The difference between Grayskull and Be Realer is Grayskull is actually about it. Be Realer ain't. That's the difference, nigga. All right, y'all. He is here. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing
How you
much.
guys doing
Good.
today?
Doing great.
All right. Just had to turn off the fish tank so you didn't hear the water.
Gotcha. Okay, well, first and foremost, we really appreciate you stopping through, taking your time out to come and do this interview with us.
Of course, man. I appreciate you guys even reaching out.
Yes, sir. So welcome to UAN TV. Pretty much on this platform, we cover a whole lot of power content. And also
Okay.
another one of your shows that you've been in, Snowfall.
Nice,
Cover that
nice.
as well. And a few other shows, but as you know, the hottest thing out right now is Power Book Force. So
Yes,
we got the
sir.
grand finale literally airing in what? How many hours this is? Well, about 9 hours. About 9 hours, we're gonna have it. So wanted to get a few questions in here. I want to cover, your upbringing, your audition process, what to expect, and then we'll cover a few questions, and then we can go ahead and get you out of here.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. So first and foremost, I did my little research on you, on the things that I could come up with. I see that you was born in California, so you're a California native. I'm currently in Cali right now. I'm not a native. I'm from Memphis, but I moved to LA for my acting career like almost 10 years ago. So
Got it. Got it.
and I saw some interesting things.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
San Bernardino, California. I was born and raised there 42 years, and now I reside in Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah. Well, I go to Phoenix a lot. I like Phoenix.
Phoenix is
Arizona.
nice. I'll be there for my
Yeah.
birthday.
Cool. So I read that you were, so I'm guessing you're a big basketball fan. I would guess, right?
Growing up, I was a big Michael Jordan fan.
Yeah, I read that. And
Yeah.
that you wanted to be the next Michael Jordan at one point.
That is
Hey, I think we all had that at one point,
Yeah,
I
used to
definitely
ball
had
up
it.
all my cousins and all the kids in the neighborhood, man. I used to ball them up, and I swore up and down I was going to make it to the NBA and be the next Michael Jordan. And then I got to junior high and I tried out for the basketball team. And on my first day, I got cut because I knew I couldn't. Because I found out I couldn't run and dribble at the same time. So just goes to show how sorrier my cousins were than me.
Gotcha. Then you moved on to be a police officer.
I wanted to be a police officer.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what it was. So that was your next big thing.
That was my
And
next big thing.
and you started background.
And then I started background. Yes, I ended up having a kid at a very young age. I got with my wife at a very young age, and at that point you got to work, man. So I was working a bunch of little dead end jobs, and I landed this background gig on Jarhead by accident. The first 5 hours that I did the background, I hated it, man. It was the most boring thing ever. I mean, we didn't see no cameras, we didn't see no actors. It was about 1,100 of us just marching because we were playing Marines. And I mean, I had bunions and callus the size of Texas, man. My feet were hurting. My mission was to have some lunch and then go hide in the bus for the rest of the day. And I wasn't going to come back. I was not going to come back that day. And I'm walking to the bus, and the staff sergeant cuts me off, and he goes, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to go to the bathroom." He goes, "All right." He goes, "Bathrooms are this way." I'm walking this way. He goes, "Bathrooms are this way." So he walks me over to the porta potties. I go to the bathroom. I'm like, hopefully he's gone. Nah, he was waiting right there for me by the door. I walked out, and he goes, "You're state platoon today." He goes, "You're with me." So he takes me down to the tent. He sits me down right in behind Jake Gyllenhaal and Jacob Vargas, and right in front of Jamie Foxx. And then I get to see all the cameras, all the lights. Christopher Cooper's on stage. He's practicing his monologue. By the time the director said action, I knew I didn't want to do anything else but play make-believe for the rest of my life.
That's a dope story. Mine was kind of like that, I guess, but a little different. It wasn't the starstruck part. So this is another thing that I thought was amazing that I read, that you've never had an acting class and your only coach was Denzel Washington. That's got to be amazing.
Yeah. The first movie I seen of Denzel Washington and I fell in love with Denzel Washington was Glory. Tear it up, tear it up, tear it up. That, remember when he runs off to go find shoes and then they bring him back and they lash him? And he walks up and they go to take off his shirt and he takes it off himself. And then he just stands there and positions himself and they start lashing him and he's still being resilient. And then you see that moment, man, where he buckles and that one tear, that Denzel tear runs down his eye. I knew then I love that man's acting. And I really went and watched everything that man came out in. Even Carbon Copy, which I didn't think was a great movie.
I never seen that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's with him and God, what was that actor's name? I don't remember the name, but it was a white guy. I believe they're like brothers or something. I don't remember. I watched this back in the late 80s, or the early 90s. But I watched everything. Bone Collector, The Pelican Brief, everything that man did from then on. I watched it.
Okay, so that's got to be amazing having him as as a coach to guide you through, because I mean it don't get much better than that. Like, he's obviously top tier. So to get a little bit, I want to go ahead and go a little further. I want to move on to the Power Edition.
Okay.
So you first aired on Force in season 2.
Yes.
What was the audition process like for you? It was a self-take, I would guess, right?
Well, actually, it was all by accident, man. They had been looking for Miguel Garcia, from what I heard, 4 months prior than when I auditioned. So they re-released it. They looked for him for 4 months. They didn't find who they wanted. So they re-released the breakdown on Actors Access. I wake up in the middle of the night. Are we able to curse, or it has to be clean?
Yeah, absolutely. This is UAN
Okay.
TV, of course.
So I wake up in the middle of the night, right? It was, I want to say 3 a.m, man. I wake up, I got to take a mean shit, right? So I'm like in the toilet right there, and I'm on my, and I'm looking through it, half awake, half asleep, and I notice Power breakdown from my manager. My manager, mind you, is 78 years old. This lady works overnight. Like, I don't even know what time she sleeps. She's like a fucking vampire. So I'm dead asleep. I wake up, I go take a shit, and I'm looking at my emails, and it shows Power. And it says, Miguel Garcia, sex scene, must be willing to do a sex scene, simulate sex, blah, 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 blah. Okay with violence, right? And, I finish, I go to wipe, I close off my phone. I thought I answered. So I put my phone away, I go back to sleep, right? That was on a Thursday. Weekend passes, Monday comes, and my buddy sends me a text message, and he goes, "Hey, can you help me with an audition? Can you help me with an audition?" And I say, "Yeah, of course." Can you guys stop, please? I'm sorry about that. And I say, I go, yeah, of course. He goes, did you get this audition? And I go, for what? And he goes, for Power. He goes, if you were to audition, bro, he goes, you're gonna book it. And I'm thinking, Power. And I start looking at Miguel Garcia, and I look at the breakdown, and I'm like, damn it, why didn't I get this audition, right? So I do the audition with him. I help him out. I get on the phone right after. Deadline, mind you, I'm helping him at 10 o'clock on Monday. The deadline is 11 o'clock on Monday. I call her at 11:30 after we're done. And I go, why didn't you get me the Power audition? And she goes, I thought you didn't want to do it because it said simulated sex. And I was like, I need you to get on the phone right now with the casting director and get me this audition. I had the cheat code. I already had the sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I get off the phone with her and I say to myself, Friday by 1 o'clock, we're going to get the call that we got the audition. So the week passes by. She calls me Friday at 12:30. She goes, hey, I got you that audition for Power. I was like, oh, I knew you were going to get it. She goes, how did you know? I go, I manifested it. So I get it. I've already prepared it, bro. I've already broke it down. I already got my wardrobe on what I'm going to wear. You know what I mean? This is due that Monday. I do it on Saturday. I change up the way it's written because it was written by, I mean, I hate to say it this way, but it was written by somebody who's not from the streets or has any idea how people in the streets talk. Yeah. You know Hollywood. You know what I mean? Let's not be fake.
Yeah, of course.
So I went and I redid it, man. And I rechanged the lingo and I put in the Spanish and I put in the Mexican slang. Because remember, when they write in Spanish, they use Google Translate. Google Translate don't know the first shit about speaking in Mexican Spanish. So I go and I redo all the Spanish, right? Mm-hmm. My wife looks at me and goes, you're changing too much. And I say, if I don't change it and I don't do it this way, I said, I'm not going to get it. I go, so I let's just shoot it this way. So we shoot it that way. I send it in on Saturday, right? Monday, I get a call at 1 o'clock. My manager's like, hey, you got a producer session on Wednesday. I was like, oh, I already knew we were going to get the producer session. When I spoke to Tamara at a watch party, she said that the moment she opened up my audition and seen the first 15 seconds, she knew that was Miguel Garcia. So she forwarded over to Gary Lennon Jr. and told him, I just found Miguel Garcia. Open up your email. Gary watched the first 15 seconds, called Tamara and said, give him a producer session. I want to see him. And then 2 days after that, we went into negotiations with the studio, Gary, and everybody else.
That's a great story, dude. It really is. It's a great story. Me personally, yeah, I've been loving Power for a very long time and stuff like that. You know, still striving myself to, you know, go past it. I gotta ask you something though, and I think this might be I think I know your answer, but I gotta ask you. So you've been in both Snowfall and Power. I gotta ask you.
Yes, sir.
Which one would you pick? They say which show you like better, or say which one's better? Which one?
Okay. Show-wise, Snowfall. But that's just that. And I mean, I could be biased because it's not by a lot. It's not by much. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and say by a long shot, Snowfall. If I'm looking at both of these as a fan, Snowfall. If I'm looking at both of these as an actor, Snowfall. I'm sorry, I just have to. Who is my favorite character from either Franklin or Tommy? Tommy.
Got you. See, you pretty much gave the exact answer I'd be telling people on the show. I said, if we're looking at it strictly from a show perspective, Snowfall is better. But if you're looking at it, I think Power has those iconic characters. Like, I don't think this is going back to OG Power now. I don't think any of Snowfall characters can match up to Ghost. but the show overall, like the acting, the storyline overall is better. But obviously, all are great shows. I
Oh
just had
yeah,
to ask.
yeah.
So
And I'll tell you one thing. I wasn't a Ghost fan. No, and I say this all the time, man. No disrespect to Omari Hardwick.
mm,
Omari Hardwick is a phenomenal actor. I thought he was. No one else could play Ghost. I'll tell you that. I cannot see Michael J. White because I heard he was the first
me
choice
too.
before Omari.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have worked. I'm sorry. I don't think the show would have been. No disrespect to Michael J. I think he's a funny actor and he's great at what he
Different type of
does.
acting. Yeah,
But different type of actor, and he would not have. I don't think Power would have been so iconic if it wasn't for Ghost.
facts.
But to my preference, I didn't like Ghost. I watched Power because I wanted to see a gangster. I watched Power because I wanted to see a person unhinged. And for me, Ghost was just always trying to be legit, always trying to go legit. And Tommy was
Okay.
just, to me, Power, Tommy is Power. And I don't say that because I work with Joseph and I didn't work with Omari. I'm separating the two and saying Tommy was Power because Tommy was unhinged, and Tommy, from start to finish, was about the streets. And he's always been about the streets. And that was Ghost's downfall, that he wanted to be legit. And you cannot be so deep in this game and still think you can make it out alive. You know what I mean? There's no rules or exceptions to the game. Just because Jay-Z was able to do it doesn't mean everybody else is able to, or Master P. But in TV, the guy who is so deep in the game is never gonna make it out. You just can't.
Facts. So you just said something that triggered because I gotta ask you. Actually, I had Ki on here yesterday, right? I asked him as well, and I gotta pretty much tell you the same thing. So I have my personal hit list, right? And
Okay.
my hit list is basically everybody that said Ghost is dead. And I've been telling people that no, he isn't, right? So I gotta ask you. Now, obviously, we know that you can't directly answer that because of you know you being on the show and all. But if a fan was to ask you and say, "Hey, I think Ghost is coming back this finale," what would be your response to
Go St. Patrick is coming back.
it? They be playing with us, bro. That because that gives him
Coming
the
back.
way he answers
Fine.
that. It gives
He's
him a
coming.
loophole that Tariq can be the new Ghost.
I can't confirm nor deny that. All I can
I
tell you
know.
is Go St. Patrick is coming back.
Go
You're not
St. Patrick's
in
coming
night
back.
seven.
Yep. I'm trying to think. What y'all think, chat? Y'all think he should be added to this list for that answer? But I mean, directly he didn't say no, so I guess we won't add him. But we're gonna move on because I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and move on to Garcia. To Miguel Garcia's case. We got one episode left, right?
Yes, sir.
And obviously, everyone, this is going to be a big episode. I'm sure of it. So, going into this finale, what can we expect from Miguel Garcia's character?
Loyalty to Tommy. We
That's
family
kind of the
now.
answer I expect.
Everyone who thinks Miguel Garcia is still trying to take out Tommy, Miguel Garcia laid his life on the line for Tommy against Ortega, and then he did it again for Tommy with Che. Remember when we're tied in the chairs and Tommy thought I tied it, I had turned on him and I said, I'm right here, Weddle. They got me too. I literally had his back because I was, right behind him. Ched goes to try to cut off my finger. What was the first thing I said? I said, I went up after Ched. Tommy had nothing to do with it.
Right.
So if he was going to take one of us out, it was going to be me.
Facts.
Garcia is so built on loyalty and family that he knows, and I said this in another podcast, he knows that he doesn't want his nephew to grow up without a father, because him and Mireya grew up without a father. Because the father got killed very early on in this game. That was the background. We never mentioned it, but his father got
That's
murdered.
important information that you just dropped.
Yeah. His father got murdered by a rival cartel. Now, see, this is the thing. They never told us if it was a rival cartel or is a mistake that he made against the Estrada cartel, and Abuelita had to give him over. Because you got to remember, Abuelita would have kicked. If you have Abuelita and Miguel on a cliff, and only one can survive, Abuelita would have thrown Miguel off that cliff just to survive. That's how Abuelita was built. So some people told me that our father fucked up and he betrayed, or he made a mistake against the Estrada cartel that cost him a lot of money, and Abuelita gave him up. But we don't know about that. And then we lost our mother early on to cancer. So it's very important that his nephew or niece, which I prefer, I would hope it'd be a niece, but it's very important that she doesn't grow up without a mother or a father. And that's why, I don't know, Garcia might not make it out this episode. He might have to risk his life to make sure Tommy survives. So loyalty, that's what you can expect from Miguel.
All right, so for me,
and him with a bitch. That's his favorite. He rose with a bitch.
So I actually, when this beef between Miguel and Tommy was going on, right? I actually told people that, because I've been knew Maria was pregnant. I called it a while back before they revealed it. I was like, I think Maria is pregnant. And once he gets pregnant, if you pay attention to all of Miguel's moves, he's been very family oriented. So once he finds out that Tommy and Maria is having a baby together, he's going to see Tommy as family, and that beef is going to be over. So I'm glad to see that turned out to be the truth. And that what made me love Miguel's character even more, how family oriented he is. And that's kind of how I see it, Miguel going down trying to protect Tommy. I hope you survive. I hope Miguel survives and makes it out. But
hey, I hope so. I'd like to get the call for legacy. I need that paycheck.
Yeah, we got to see the legacy of the child having the uncle around, and we got to see all of that. So last question on the Miguel's what to expect at the end of this episode, because I've been already told by Kay that Chicago is not going to be the same. How would you describe Chicago's state of being at the end of this episode?
It's going to be a major shakeup, man, in leadership. I'll tell you that. It's about as much that I can give you. A major shakeup in leadership.
Okay.
It's nothing that the fans think is going to happen.
Damn. That's not good to hear. That makes me feel bad. So
what I can tell you is the antagonist never truly dies. You know what I mean? So is Tommy safe? If I have to bet on it and I don't know what's going on, I would bet all my chips on Red and Tommy being Red. You know what I mean? I'd bet all my chips on Tommy in Russian roulette. But hey, it's power. No one's safe. So I'll give you that.
No one's safe. Woo, well, I'm gonna go ahead and let the people get some of their questions in before I get you up out of here.
No problem.
Let's see. So my first question up, my boy Buckets, he said, ask him how long has he been rapping? Oh, rapping career.
How long have I? I was rapping in the early 2000s. I think I did like a whole album that I never released. And then recently, I did a few tracks. I went to visit my buddy who owns a music studio, and he needed 16 bars to a song he was working on for some independent movie. So he was like, Chili, get in the booth and drop me 16 bars. So I ended up recording like four songs for him. But I uploaded them to my TikTok, and they popped up on my wife's TikTok page. She was on TikTok about 2-3 days ago. And she was like, so you slipping into girls' DMs, huh? And I was like, it's just a song, right? A couple days ago, my granddaughter comes up to me and she goes, because her and her friends, they watch my TikToks. And she's on a couple of my TikToks. So she's kind of like TikTok famous in our hometown of San Bernardino. So she goes, Grandpa, she goes, what did you mean by you like to bang a classic like your 40 foes on 40 foes? So I said, like your grandma, she's my 40 foe on 40 foes. You know, my wife has double D 44s. So she went to go ask my wife, and my wife didn't find that very funny. So she was like, that I should be ashamed of myself because I'm a 46-year-old grandpa who his granddaughter's friends watch my TikToks. And well, in life, my wife's always been right. So I had to take it down. But see, I don't think she was mad at the fact that I'm 46-year-old grandpa rapping on TikTok. I think she was mad at the fact that I said she was 44 because she's 42. But I couldn't say 42 on 44s.
Right.
It don't sound,
didn't go together.
So, I had age with, and I told her, I said, well, you look damn good for 44 on 44s. But yeah, no, that wasn't getting me out of trouble. So I've been in the doghouse for a few days.
Figure that. All right, so the next question DeMarcus said, did Abuelita know that Miguel unalived Che's son, Armando, to become the leader of the Insane Princess?
I guarantee you that was Abuelita, the brains behind that, who pushed Miguel to do that.
Yeah, she's very strategic like that.
She's very strategic and sadistic.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Miguel, he is a replica. He is a product of his surroundings, and his surrounding and his mentor is his grandma.
Okay. Real fast. I got to go. I'm just going to open this door real fast for someone. Real fast. I'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah. By the way, everybody who's watching, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys have made power what power is, and we appreciate you guys to the fullest. So I salute you guys for that. And whoever's saying Dino, that San Bernardino, the dirty Dino, that's where I'm from. So mad love to my city.
Okay, so here's a good question. I don't know if you can answer this one or not, but I'll ask it. Somebody asked, is the last episode longer than an hour?
I would probably say yes, an hour and 1 minute.
That's 1 minute over.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's going to be at least an hour, but don't expect 2-3 hours of a small little movie. It's not going to be that. It's gonna go fairly fast, and you will be satisfied. You'll be content with what we give you. You're gonna be content, and you're gonna be pissed off because it's the last thing you're gonna get on power from a lot of us.
Well, that ain't good. Let's see. Any more questions? I'm trying to skim through. Somebody asked, how was Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai was fun. I got to film that in Puerto Rico. That was an experience. I never been to Puerto Rico, so you know what I mean. Get to lounge by the beach and work out, and I mean Puerto Rico is just beautiful, beautiful people, beautiful women, beautiful everything.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. One of my first really big courses and stuff like that in college was a Puerto Rican girl. So absolutely. All right. Any more questions, people? Okay, here's another one. He said, "Why didn't Miguel hook up with Maria's friend Erica?" That's random. What?
From the are you talking about the girl from the hospital?
Yeah, yeah, that's who he's talking about.
I don't think. I mean, I don't think Miguel is so focused on women. I mean, remember he has all these girls in his clubhouse, so I don't think for him is it. Nana isn't on his mind. You know what I mean? For him, it's just about making money and keeping Mireya safe. Everyone thinks, you know, this obsession. They call it an obsession that Miguel had with Mireya. It's not an obsession. We Latin men, we protect our sisters. It's just protection.
Mm-hmm.
Especially coming from Miguel, you got to remember he didn't do anything to the doctor. He knew she was with the doctor, but the doctor wasn't in this business. It was all her boyfriends that worked for Miguel that ended up in the cemetery. Or
Wait, but he broke one of them hand though, right? He broke the
yeah,
doctor's hand.
but what did he do? What did he do to Medea? He grabbed her by the. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You don't touch the golden child, the golden goose at all that way, or even raise your voice at her. So that was the problem with the doctor. That's why he broke the doctor's hands, not because the doctor was dating Mireya. It was because he grabbed her the way he did. The reason he didn't want Tommy with her is because he knows what Tommy is. Him and Tommy are cut from the same cloth. The only difference is Tommy's white and they're Latino. So we as men, we want the best for our sisters, and that's where we get violent. You know what I mean? If you are somebody who is no good, yeah, we're not going to let you date our sisters. I don't care if my sister likes you. We're not going to let you date our sisters. We're going to tie you up in the trunk, and you're going to be found butt naked in some desert or some lake. I mean, it is what it is. And I'm sure Black folks are the same way. If there's a guy who's no good, you're not going to want him dating your sister. It's not about color. It's not about anything else. It's who you are as a person and what your profession is.
I agree. So here's another question that's been kind of ongoing. I asked Kay, so I have to ask you as well. If you had to pick between the spinoffs, as we know, Power has 3 spinoffs so far. You got, we have Ghost, Raising Kanan, and Forrest. Which one would you deem to be the best one between them? I mean, you could be biased with Forrest because you're in Forrest, but just your genuine opinion.
My general opinion, and this is as a fan, it is Forrest all the way. It's Forrest. No disrespect to any of the other spinoffs. Kanan was good. I made it past season 1, and then it lost me. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I did see season 1 on Kanan. Ghost, I couldn't make it past the first episode. I think I made it 15 minutes in, and then I was like, this isn't doing it for me. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Mary. I think Mary is fine as hell. I think Mary is fine.
I had a crush on her going up too, bro.
Yeah, I got a crush on her right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But God, bro, like she's a great singer.
Mm-hmm.
I cringed every time she came on even the little clips that I would watch. I just cringed. I'd like stick to singing, because I close my eyes and I hear that beautiful voice and I see that beautiful face, and makes me want to make babies with my wife, even though I got a vasectomy. You know what I mean? But I just want to keep all night. But acting wise, no, nobody there can I sit there except for Woody the Great.
Yes.
Nobody there can sit here and say, I want to watch act. Not Little Ghost, definitely not Braden, not not the Tejadas. Mecca was dope, but they took
Mecca
it.
was good. Yeah, Mecca was good.
What was the other girl? Nona, or what was her name?
Noma.
Noma was lethal. You know, the clips that I seen, but Woody the Great, God, man, that I can see why they call him the Great. That dude, Kane, he was bad. He was a badass. But that was it, man. And with Force, we just, as a fan watching it, everyone was on point, man. Everyone, Jannard, I don't care what anybody
Jannard's
says.
crazy.
Jannard is my favorite character. Besides Tommy, Jannard is my favorite character because Jannard is a fucking weasel, man. Jannard will kill his own mama.
Yeah, if he had to.
He's like, sorry, mama, I love you, but you gotta die.
He's like the next Dre.
Yeah, he really is. He's better than Dre. And I thought Dre was good. He's better than Dre, better than Rami. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a better actor. I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. No question.
You know what I mean? Diamond, I liked him until he became a drunk. You know what I mean? But Tommy, Mireya, Walter, I thought Walter was a gangster, dude. When he comes out,
I love Walter too.
Walter comes out with that shotgun. I hated Vic. I can't stand Vic. Vic always crying, dude. He played that part so good that he was just annoying to me.
Yeah, he was.
Always crying for.
I think he's gonna survive just because of that reason, though.
I'm sure he is, man. I'm sure him and Jannard might survive. You know what I mean? It's like, but Jannard is the super villain. He became the super villain in season 3.
You're not lying.
You know, and it's crazy because a lot of people I seen on Facebook, they asked who was the better villain. And a lot of people think Miguel was a great villain, but you got to remember, how can I be the great villain if I'm the brother-in-law? So a lot of people too, they were like, oh, Miguel's gone soft. Miguel's gone soft. It's not that Miguel's gone soft. It's Miguel has loyalty. And in that loyalty, there's only 2 things that can bring a man to his knees. And that is his loyalty for his family can get him killed, or the woman he loves can get him killed. That's when he loses sight of the streets.
Okay, and so somebody else,
the villain anymore.
Yeah, he's definitely not the villain. In my personal opinion, I think Miguel's his beef with Tommy was kind of justified anyway. My opinion.
Like I said, it
was Tommy a chance, and then Tommy kind of backstabbed him.
Yeah. And then, I mean, come on, man. He kept coming at me hard, bro. He kept fucking stealing my product. You know what I mean? And like I said, Miguel didn't want Mireya dating a guy just like him because he knew what her life was going to be. And look at where she's at right now. They already put a hit on her. She's pregnant. Now he has 2 lives to look after. So he didn't want that for her. When she was just about nursing, it wasn't about this life. She was safe. And that's why I say his hate for Tommy was justified.
It was. Yeah. So someone asked, will we see Big Bertha the pig again, basically?
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. My mamas. Oh, my little mamas. It was, you know, let me tell you a little bit about that, man. So when we did the table read, they said I had a pig, right? The pig's name is Peppa Pig. That's her real name. So I'm reading it, and I come up to that scene where we introduce the pig, and I get on the phone real quick, and I call Kendra, and I call Gary, and I said, hey, can I name the pig? And they were like, yeah, we don't see why not. Name the pig. I was like, okay. I said, I got something really cool in store for you. So I rewrote all that, right? Because mind you, that's how I talk to my female Frenchie. So as soon as I did the table read and I did that and I called her Big Bertha, everyone on the table read just lost their shit. Like they were sitting there, and it's funny because if you ask anybody, you ever do an interview again, you ask anybody, how were you guys when Miguel was gonna come on at the table? They're like this. Like, what crazy shit is Miguel gonna say? So
I'll
when
make
he
sure
did
I
that,
ask that for the next one.
yeah, they were quiet. Everyone was quiet. And as soon as the pick comes in, and I did that, everyone lost their shit. Everybody lost their shit. They just busted out laughing, man, because they were not expecting Miguel to do that.
So you
Because
guys'
remember,
table reads was in person.
no. Everything was through Zoom.
Okay.
But I can see everyone because everyone's in little boxes, like, and I'm watching them, and I'm like using my peripherals, and I'm watching everybody. And as soon as I did that, bro, everyone fell out of their chairs laughing because they weren't expecting. So I would love, Big Bertha again in episode 10.
You ain't lying. That's a good question. This is now, I don't know if this is a question directed towards you, but I'm just gonna read it. He said, how Tariq gonna come to Chicago on Demon Time when he didn't drop nothing off at the end of book 2?
How is Tariq gonna come? Well, I told you, you're getting Go St. Patrick. Go St. Patrick is coming. I'm not pulling your leg. He really is.
Well, there, see, so that basically gets rid of that other list for sure. I took one of these lists getting booked, so somebody getting cooked regardless. I got 2 lists. I got a Ghost as in James St. Patrick list, and then I got a Tariq St. Patrick list. So either way, I get a win tonight. All right, people. Any other final questions before I go ahead and let him out of here? Basically, it's just a bunch of compliments. I can read some of the compliments if you want to.
Yeah, let's do it.
Someone said, Miguel, you are so talented as an actor. Man, much respect. I hope I see you in more things.
Hey, from your lips to God's ears, man. Say a little prayer for me.
SG, I told you it's a lot of people in there. I told you I can't guarantee I'm gonna see all the questions. If the best thing to do is to copy and paste it and put it back down here because I can't scroll up digging for your one comment. I'm sorry. Somebody said, "Do you make it out of season 3?"
You know what? I hope so, man. I'm praying that I do because I would like to come out in legacy because I need that paycheck. My truck payment's coming up. You know, my 44. Well, here on, let me rephrase myself because if she sees it, she's gonna be mad. My 42 on 44s needs her hair done.
Yeah. Okay. Someone said, "Can you tell us how many characters from Force is going to Legacy?"
Right now, first off, it hasn't been greenlit because you would have already heard. They could be waiting for the end of episode 10. Confirm that I can tell you who's going to Legacy is as much as you know the deadline article that was released back in July is Tommy and Tyreek. You're definitely going to get them. Last I heard, I was not going to Legacy. Tonight will be a goodbye for Miguel.
Well, let's hope not. Somebody said, Miguel, my guy, one of my favorite characters for sure, man. I hope you make it. I want to see you in more power.
From your lips to God's ears.
All right. So, SG, I'm trying to give you time to get this comment in here before I let him go. I can't hold this man hostage for too much longer. Somebody said, how many main characters died tonight? You know, you can't say that.
All of them.
All of them. Like Diamond when he was drunk. All of them.
Yep. On God, like Jannard says. On God.
Oh, God. All of them.
It's going to be a bloodbath tonight.
Okay, so someone said this is a good one. Besides yourself, who is your favorite cast member to be in the scene with?
I have two, and that was obviously you guys know the first one, Tommy Joseph.
Mhm.
Joseph is one of the most unselfish actors to work with. Like guy, every take he does it as if the camera's in front of him. And then the other one is Chris Lofton, Jannard. Too bad me and him didn't have any scenes together this time around, but he
Dang,
was
y'all didn't
amazing.
have. I just thought
Mm-mm.
about that. All right.
Besides being in the same scene, like the church or what you're going to get in episode 10, we didn't have any interactions together.
Mm.
It was more Miguel and Tommy.
Hold up. You said beside the thing at the church. Uh-oh. We know Jannard shows up at the church.
Okay, go ahead. Your mic had shut off.
Oh, I would just double it down on when you said besides the scene at the church that we're gonna get. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah. Besides the scene at the church, we didn't have any interactions together.
okay. So here's a good question because this one's been trending and people have been arguing about this, and I want to go ahead and put this to bed. I just thought about it. Will there be a shootout at that church?
Well, you already got it. Oh, you mean the funeral?
Mm-hmm.
You guys got to see that. That's a good scene. I'll tell you one thing. Miguel comes through in that scene. How does he come through?
Come through, Miguel. That's what I'm talking about.
It could be one of two ways.
Yeah.
He saves Tommy one of two ways.
Oh shit.
He takes somebody out so Tommy can live, or he puts his life on the line and gets taken out so Tommy can live. But I just got to tell you, Miguel comes through big time in that scene.
Okay, well, see, so I want to go ahead and cook you guys for going ahead and questioning my DeMarcus. You need to be at the top of this list along with Detroit Kings. Y'all swearing Detroit Kings is swearing up and down. He got inside information that no shootout will happen at that funeral. Well, anyways, here's okay. DeMarcus had another question. Say, did Miguel know Yo-Yo and Zamos?
No, he did not.
Nobody knows Yo-Yo, bro. I keep telling you that. Yo-Yo is just a name they use, bro. Yo-Yo don't know. He ain't gonna walk the Yo-Yo is like the toy. Mine ain't nobody. Okay, so I mean, I think okay, here's another one came through it. Why couldn't Miguel give himself diabetes shots?
Because he's afraid of needles, man. It's like, can you cause yourself bodily harm? Like seriously, he's sitting there like, like when somebody's like, me voy a matar, and they're gonna slice their veins, and they're like, wait, never mind, I can't do that. It's like you're going into the skin, man. You just can't. It's it gave Miguel the EBGBs.
Okay, so he said one of them said, "Who do you think is the most annoying kid, Tariq, D-Mac, or young Kanan?" That's a good question.
Oh, well, as you can see, the one that because Miguel hasn't had an interaction with Tyreek, but D-Mac really irked Miguel when he came at his boo sideways. You know what I mean? He shouldn't have came at Shanti sideways. That's Miguel's boo. In Miguel's mind, that's his boo. Because I mean, we've all seen the way he looked at Shanti when Shanti dropped off that money and said, "Let Miguel go."
Yeah, we all. I feel you. Yeah, we all crushing on her. We got you.
Yeah. Ladies, let me tell you something. Whoever's in the comments, whoever's in this live, get yourself a man that looks at you the way Miguel looks at Shanti. But if I sit here and tell you as a fan who's more annoying, I would probably say all three of them. All three of them.
I think if I had to pick, who would I pick? Tariq. I'm going with Tariq.
Okay. I see. I'll give you Tyreek #1 because he killed Ghost,
Mm-hmm.
and he thought he was a gangster, and he truly wasn't. I don't know how they flipped that script, man, because I still don't see him as a true gangster. I'm sorry, I don't.
I agree.
See him as,
I don't either.
I see him as that snotty-nosed prick from Original Power that you know his daddy kept trying to put him through college, and he just, I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster, motherfucker. You ain't no gangster. One, D-Mac, because he has that annoying voice, and all he does is, yeah, tell him, Monk. Tell him, Monk. Like,
right.
Bruh, I'm just, every time I hear him, I'm just like, someone give me a Q-tip. Give me some cotton balls.
Yeah.
So that, Young Kanan, I don't know. I just, maybe it was the actor with the trying to do the 50, you know what I mean? It just,
the 50 voice, right.
The 50 voice. I think if he just would have used his regular voice, don't get me wrong, he's a great actor, but that voice just wasn't doing it for me, man. You know,
yeah, a lot of people say that.
50 talks like that, but maybe later on they could have just made it to where he got shot, you know what I mean? Or stabbed in prison that caused just something, but use his regular voice. I don't like it when an actor just changes his voice just to change his voice. Like, don't do that. Ain't nobody can do it like what was his name? The uncle on Snowfall.
Jerome.
Uncle Jerome. That voice fit that character. I'm sorry, but that voice fit that character.
Hey, look. Hey.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That voice fit that character. But the actor doesn't really talk like that.
Right, he doesn't.
He was trying to mimic 50's voice. And that's where I was just like, maybe that's what did it for me. And I could, I was only able to watch one season, but the writing was great on Kanan.
Writing was excellent.
It was great. The way it was shot, everything. Sasha, I got to tip my hat off to him. He is a great writer. He's a great showrunner. But I just, there's certain people that turn me off. Now, Patina Miller, Patina Miller.
That's another crush there.
Young Patina Miller. I don't like that young Patina Miller. I don't like the way she looks. That's not attractive to me. But Rack, good Lord.
Man.
Have mercy. Rack is fun. That old lady hair. Maybe I got mommy issues. I don't know.
Yep. Hopefully she coming back. We don't know. But somebody asked, have you met Omari?
No, I have not. I did not get the pleasure of meeting Omari. I didn't get the pleasure of meeting 50 in person either. I just talked to him on the phone. He was sitting in the sauna after a workout.
All right, so I think that is probably the final question I'll push through. Once again, thank you so much for coming through and doing this with us. We're looking forward to seeing you later on in about 8 hours, and for the grand finale. We're rooting for you. We're hoping Miguel makes it and makes it to legacy. But we're best of luck in the rest of your career, whether it's with Power or whatever else you do.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it, man.
I'm sorry. Any socials or any promotions that you want to do to the people that's here?
Yeah, definitely, man. Follow me on TikTok, La Familia Los Ramirez. La Familia Los Ramirez. I'm on TikTok. I have a movie on Tubi that you can watch for free. I co-wrote, co-directed, and I star in it. It's called Holy Death. Catch that on YouTube.
Holy Death?
Yeah, Holy Death, like kill, death.
Got you.
Yeah, so go check that out. That's free. You ain't got nothing to do. You're bored one day. You need some background music, you know, background noise, throw it on, and then go back on TikTok. If you're not a fan of mine, you know, let me get those couple of cents. I need to pay my mortgage. So you guys do me a favor by watching it. But besides that, man, follow my TikTok. You're not going to get Miguel. You're going to get that goofy dad. I'll tell you that much.
Yep, y'all heard it, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and let him go, and I'm gonna close out this stream here, and I'll be back. You guys know, per usual, every time a new episode is getting ready to drop, we come in early, make our final predictions, watch it together, and then we discuss the show later. So I'll be back live 8:15 Pacific time, and then we'll go from there. But anyways, like I said, thank you for coming through, and we look forward to seeing you later.
Perfect, man. Thank you so much. And I love you guys. Don't forget to tune in. Go to Stars. Bug them and bug them and bug them so Miguel gets his own spinoff in LA.
I would love that because I'm in LA.
Tell him to read.
Yeah, y'all. Let's petition for Miguel to get a spinoff in LA. Let's do that.
Yeah, so we can get my boy on there.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Hey, you take
care. All right,
care.
brother. Thank you.
See you tonight.
All right.
Bye.